Welcome to the next episode of Joff's World Tour. I'm taking my motorbike, Tigger, to as many countries around the world as we can get to. In the last episode, we had reached Brasov in Romania. This episode, we're going to see more of Romania, and then we're going to cross the border into Bulgaria. If you like this video, click subscribe, and you'll be amongst the first to see where we go next. It's another morning. Off to go and see what the town of Brasov is like. It's been raining in the night. You can see Tigger's still safely parked out there. Don't know whether it's going to rain later, but let's go and see Brasov. Like most Romanian towns, you've got to walk through the kind of grungy outskirts to get to the nice bit. And we're coming into the nice bit of Brasov now. A little bit out of breath now, so I'm climbing up the hill to look at the castle. There it is, just ahead of me there. The castle says 1580 above the gate. It's a typical 16th century star-shaped castle. And if you know your castles, you know they were designed this way to resist cannons. Castles before this were not designed like this. They were designed to resist people with bows and arrows. And so the design of castles had to change in the 16th century. So from up here you get a panoramic view over the whole of Brasov. You can see up there the Brasov sign up on the hill, and over here there's a cable car going up to a panoramic viewing point at the top. Don't know whether I'll get time to do that today, and I'm not sure you see very much. You can see the mist hanging about. Well, that was a whirlwind tour of Brasov. Back at the apartment now, so I'm just going to relax for the afternoon and then go out for pizza again. Seems to be pizza every night. And I did a wee sketch at the castle. So that's my fun for today. Off to Buzau tomorrow. I've not had any maps up till now because my maps start with Romania. But now that I've been in Romania for a few days, I can show you where I've been and what roads I've taken. So here's the map. Here's where I came into Romania. This purple line here is the border between Hungary and Romania. I came in at Leviates, took this road down to Oradea, had a couple of nights there with the help of Nico. And then from Oradea I took this road down here. That's the main dual carriageway, but I turned off it. Up this mountain pass through these twisty roads. Brud is where I got stopped by the police just here. Carried on into the town of Sebez. Here's Sebez, which was quite a nice, quiet little town. This line here, this is me going to Sibiu and back for a day trip. And then across here, this is the Transalpina. The first part of the Transalpina and then the second part of the Transalpina. Into Novaki. From there then this wiggly road took me into Ramnicu Valsia. That was quite a trek, all of that. Spent a night in Ramnicu, and then I rode this road, which doesn't look like much. From here over the pass down into Bran for the Bran Castle. This road up here, this is the Transfargassen Pass. That's closed at the moment for snow. I met some bikers in Brad, some British bikers from Cambridge, Nigel and Ian, and they tried to cross the Transfargassen yesterday, and it was closed for snow. So this road was really quite tough because it wasn't a very good road surface. It was slippery, it was bumpy. I had to go quite gently through it. And then through here, just off the edge of the map, I'm in Brasov. Here's Brasov, and I'm just there for tonight. Tomorrow I think I'm going to go to Buzau. There's a campsite up here which I'm going to aim for and hopefully do some camping. Hopefully the weather will let me do that. And then the following day I've got a run, I don't know quite which route, probably down here and then down the main dual carriageway into Constanta. And that's my first big target for this trip, get over to the Black Sea coast. Got a couple of nights there and then I've got to decide what to do next. This is the border with Bulgaria, so obviously I'm going to go down into there, maybe along the coast, we'll see. Here we go, getting ticker packed off for our next trip.
Learn here, it's very beautiful. Mamaya up, us.
Yes, and then I go to Turkey.
Turkey, oh, it's beautiful. It's very...
It's a long way.
Oh, no, lights.
Oh, well, he was very chatty. He's been in the street most days, most of the time that I've been here, but friendly enough. So now, off to Buzau this morning, and the sat-nav says it's only 75 miles away, but it still says it's going to take me 3 hours, so interesting roads ahead, I think. Out of Brasov, and we're into some flat plains of southeast Romania, but I can see those mountains up ahead, and that's pretty much where we're going to get to Buzau. Horse and cart, still quite a popular form of transport around here. Seen quite a few. As you can see, we're out of the flatlands and starting to climb into the hills again. Twisty mountain roads I've been doing for the past few days are a lot of fun, apart from the fact that they're restricted to 50 kilometers an hour a lot of the time. But also it means I'm not really travelling very far each day. It's slow riding. So after I get to Buzau and spend the night there, I think I'll do a bit of mile munching, get myself into Constanza the next day. Just passed another police speed trap, and of course they didn't catch me because I'm being a good boy. And I've got into the habit now of just setting the speed limiter here to 50 as I go through the town. Sometimes it can be quite a few kilometres go through the towns, and it's easy to let your speed drift up if you're not being careful. But just putting it on the electronics and keeping it at 50 means I've got both hands free, and I know I'm not going to be in trouble with the law. I couldn't help pausing here just to take in the view. That perilous road up there is just where I've come from. Here's Tigger waiting patiently. This is the mountains that I'm into today. I think I'll be in these mountains most of the day up to Buzau. There's a campsite along here somewhere, I know there is. 3 kilometres according to the sat-nav. Very bumpy, windy road, but Tigger can cope with it. I just don't know if this campsite is even open or if they have space for me. I hope it's yes to both those things. Find out when we get there. Got plenty of time to go somewhere else if I have to. That's where sat-nav wants to take me. There's no sign though, and I really don't fancy it. So I'm going to go on a bit. There's another road to the right which maybe takes me to the same place. Camping? Camping? Campara? Is it here? Camping? Up here. Okay. Still not certain I'm going to the right place, but it's a road I can cope with. So I just have to keep going and see. No signs anywhere, but those 2 young lads said yes, camping up here. Further that way. It's a better road, so this is looking much more promising. Fingers crossed.
Oh, well, here I am at Muddy Camp. It's not that the camp itself is muddy, but just up the hill here are some volcanic mud pools, which I'm going to go and visit in a minute. Tigger's parked just here, and it's just taken me half an hour to get the tent up. So that's fantastic. First night of camping on this trip. Looking forward to it. Just walking up from the campsite now to go and see volcanic mud pools. I don't know what they're like, but we'll go and have a look. Well, this is a very strange landscape. Looks a little bit like the moon. I can hear the mud bubbling. All very strange. Not quite sure what to make of all this. All around I can hear strange bubbling noises. I just hope it's not a volcano that's going to erupt anytime soon. Probably do wonders for your complexion to dive in there, but don't think I'll try it. Not today. Oh, what a strange place. I've never seen anything like that at all before in my life. How very odd. Anyway, taking the path now back down to the campsite, get myself something to eat, tuck myself into my tent, and then tomorrow the ride over to Constanza.
Well, that was fun. An evening of camping. Good chat to some German tourists who I sat and had dinner with. 2 Polish bikers, both riding Tiger 900s. And then a good long chat to the campsite owner. And we conversed in French because my French was better than his English. Batteries recharged, my batteries recharged, and off we go now to Constanza. See a lot of these roadside stalls, people just selling homegrown produce, cherries mostly it looks like. Yeah, obviously a cherry growing region. Sure where I'm supposed to be on this road. It isn't really a dual carriageway. The bit I'm riding on isn't really wide enough to be a carriageway, but all of the slower moving traffic, by which I mean the traffic that's anywhere near to the speed limit, is using this part of the road and letting all the fast traffic go past them. So yeah, quite a strange one. Out to the mountains now, and heading across the flat eastern part of Romania with long straight roads, and I'm just munching up the miles now towards Constanza. Crossing over the Danube. Danube Delta is over to my left. Constanza dead ahead. Here we are, Hotel Maria. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is just how I like it. 28 degrees centigrade. Let's go and see if my room is ready.
Well, here I am now in my room in my hotel in Constanza. It's a bit of a watershed moment, this one, because I'm about to go to the easternmost bar in Europe, which means that so far on the tour I've gone all the way with Tigger from the westernmost bar in Europe right the way across to the easternmost bar in Europe. Tigger's done nearly 4,500 miles since I started. From here I have to go back westwards. I can't go any further east in Europe until I get into Turkey, and I can go a bit further east there. So quite an important moment here. So I've chosen quite a nice hotel room. I've got, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, I've got a little seating area and it's quite dark in here, big bed and a desk. And I'll be comfortable here for a couple of days while I plan the next stages of the tour through Bulgaria and into Turkey. I've still got to book some accommodation for those places. It's school holidays now, so I do need to book those things a little bit in advance. Anyway, off to the bar next. So this is the marina, and that bar over there is called On Plonge, and as far as I can tell that's the easternmost bar here in Constanza. So that's where I'm heading for my pint of lager in the easternmost bar in Europe. Morning. Well, Tigger's still here. Nice shiny day. And today I'm off to Histria.
So, Histria is a town with a lot of Roman ruins in it, which the Polish bikers that I met at the muddy volcano campsite said they were heading there. They showed me some pictures. It looked really interesting. And I've got a lovely free morning from Constanta to take Tigger up there without the luggage, go and have a good look round. So I'm taking advantage of that, and we'll go and see what we can find there. That's a wheat field stretching as far as your eyes can see. And this part of Romania to the north of Constanza, these vast flatlands here. This is what it looks like. It's cereal crops, acres and acres and acres of cereal crops. To my left, it's more of the same, and in that direction, the next place you would get to is the border with Moldova, and then through Moldova, of course, you would be into Ukraine. And these vast flatlands of cereal crops stretch right the way across there, almost unbroken. Really is the breadbasket of Europe round here. Well, here we are, just arriving at Histria archaeological site. Found somewhere good to park. Nobody here. Maybe just early in the day. I'll park in this shade.
Let's go and have a look round. So this city of Histria was used by the Romans, but also by the ancient Greeks in different periods of history, and attacked by the Goths at one point, and destroyed and rebuilt.
Oh, mandatory dog attack. Out of the way, doggy. Histria was interesting. I found a place to sit to do a nice little sketch. It's quite hot for me now, 28 degrees. Weather report says we're going to get 35 degrees next week. Not quite sure I'm ready for that, but it is what it is. So that was fun. Back to Constanta now, and get myself something cool to drink. This is what I imagine the prairie lands of the centre of the USA to look like. Cereal crops to the horizon in all directions, and a long straight road ahead of me.
Back at the hotel, I find myself some lunch. Maybe go and visit the beach this afternoon. Now into Constanta. not very far, just down this leafy boulevard. At the end here we'll come to the beach, and I'll show you that when we get there. This is one of Constanta's big tourist attractions, the casino. And I was hoping to sit and do a wee sketch of it, but as you can see it's covered in scaffolding being renovated. There are stalls just behind me where they have a big photograph of the casino when it'll be finished, and you can have your photograph taken in front of the photo of the casino so that you don't miss out. But I don't think I'll bother with that.
Another morning, and today we're off to Bulgaria. I've got a good 5 hours of riding ahead of me. I'm setting off relatively early for me. Weather's a bit cooler at this time of day, and let's see how we go. The border to cross into Bulgaria shouldn't be too problematic, it's still the EU. And heading into the Bulgarian mountains. Well, Garmin has just tried to take me onto a southbound motorway that doesn't exist yet. It's under construction. So I've no idea now where Garmin is going to take me. On my way out of Bucharest now. I've just gone around the outskirts. I didn't really want to go into the city centre on this tour. It's a big city, it's worth a visit, of course, but that's not really what I'm wanting to do today. Hopefully this road will now take me south and towards the Bulgarian border. But heading south towards Bulgaria.
Just stopped for a bite to eat, and you can probably see behind me there's a big queue of trucks all along the road here. Goes all the way down here, so I suspect I'm coming up on the Bulgarian border now. 5 more minutes and I should be there, and we'll see how long it takes to cross.
Not sure just now whether this is border control just yet, or whether this is just a toll for the bridge. I can see on Garmin the border here is in the middle of the river. Pretty busy border. pretty chaotic. Just had to drive through a wheel wash so that my tyres have been kind of vaguely washed. Temperature is now 30 degrees, it says. And there's not a lot of shade I can sit in. I've just got to wait my turn. Living in the UK and just occasionally driving into the Schengen area, it's easy for us to forget that this is what the borders between all the European countries used to be like. When I toured Europe back in 1984, it was like this at every border. And I must say how much easier it makes life to have all the European countries in the Schengen area, all with free border crossings, no passport controls. Still, that's that done. Let's go. Just stopped there also to get some Bulgarian cash, which is good, and to check what was needed for the e-vignettes, which is nothing for me, which is what I thought. And find my way out of the border control area and get myself moving. It's cooler, cooler when we're moving. Tigger's temperature gauge went up to 37 while we were sat there in the sun. Wow, well, we've just come off a huge plain of Bulgaria, and laid out before me is an incredible view, if I could see it beyond these trees. 50 limit here, so obviously there's a big queue of cars behind me wanting to overtake. So that hasn't changed, that's the same as in Romania. 50 sign there. Doing more than 50 anyway. Only been in Bulgaria for a few hours, but already it's very different to Romania. The wee villages that I'm going through seem like they're looked after a bit better. The landscape is now full of these cliffs and rock faces. The roads seem in slightly better condition. But the crazy drivers are still here though. Maybe they're just Romanians overtaking me. So this is the landscape of Bulgaria, well, at least the part I'm currently in, just outside the town of Idilevo. It's completely silent here.
Well, that's me and Tigger arrived at motor camp in Bulgaria. The place is a bit of a legend, and the chat around the bar table amongst the various bikers was unbelievable. In the next episode, we're going to explore a bit more of Bulgaria and then cross the border into Turkey. If you'd like to see how we get on, click subscribe and you'll be amongst the first to see it.